Hi friends, we are here with an amazing video on losing weight properly and focusing on the word properly because a lot of users might have tried to lose weight but they do it wrong because they try to lose weight quickly by eating in a lot of deficit, or they try walking, jogging, cardio and all of that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because when you start losing weight, the body also slows down when it gets to know that we are not getting enough food. This is called reducing the metabolism, and then the weight plateaus out. And this is why you're not able to lose body fat eventually. Now, if you need to know how to lose weight properly, you must be aware of two terms. The first one is basal metabolic rate, and the second one is total daily energy expenditure. In short, this is called BMR and this is called TDEE. BMR is the number of calories you need in a day to sustain yourself, to sustain your life. Even if you're sleeping, like let's say that you totally decide not to wake up at all over a period of 24 hours and you are on bed, there is no potential energy needed, nothing. In that case, number of calories your body needs for the heart to beat, for the brain to function, for the blood to flow, for internal processes and all is called the basal metabolic rate. However, this isn't all you do throughout the day. You don't sleep all day long, right? You walk, you jog, you climb stairs, you wash dishes, and let's say even if your lifestyle is sedentary, at least you sit on a desk, you write something, you type something, and thus you don't only need energy as much as your basal metabolic rate, you need way more than that. So the total amount of energy you need in a day is called the total daily energy expenditure. It would be more clear over the next slide. You would be surprised to know that exercise does not burn the most calories. The most calories are burned when you are resting, your heartbeat. That needs a lot of calories because it's something that happens consistently. So moving your muscles does not actually burn the most of calories. If you can increase your resting metabolic rate, or the basal metabolic rate as they call it, then it would be easier for you to lose weight with a certain diet. The second thing that burns energy is the thermic effect of meals. Whenever you eat meals, they need some kind of combustion inside, they need energy for chemical processes inside to burn and give more energy. So that basic energy that they need is called the thermic effect of meals. The next one is even more important than exercise. It's called NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is basically the number of calories you burn throughout the day when you are not exercising. For example, when you wash dishes, when you are standing, when you are walking, when you take your dog out for a walk. So these are the general activities you do throughout the day, and they are not counted as regular exercise. And finally comes exercise, which would be, I guess, is the second lowest of all the energy expenditure in throughout the day. So exercise comes as the last option, which you could change. The main thing which you could change is the NEAT score. It means that a person who has a very sedentary lifestyle, who works for, let's say, an IT company, sits 12 hours a day, will have a much lower need, and he would have to eat much less to make sure that he doesn't gain weight. Even if he exercises 1 or 2 hours a day, he cannot complete that need. So need is the main thing. Now let's go to the next slide. Here's a step-by-step procedure to lose weight, and there could be no more basic procedure. You need to learn these terms. First of all, increase the BMR as much as possible. Now, how much is the BMR? My BMR is something like 1500 something, and TDE is 24 calories something. When I say calorie, the calorie in physics is a calorie. The calorie in nutrition, the food calorie, is basically KCAL, which is kilocalorie. So they are different. One kilocalorie is equivalent to 1000 calorie, the physics calorie. And we use these terms interchangeably. So when I say calorie in terms of nutrition, it means kilocalorie. Okay. First of all, you need to increase the BMR as much as possible. There are a lot of guides online on how to increase the BMR. For example, drinking a little bit of green tea, yes, that also contributes to the BMR. Increasing the muscle mass in your body, that increases the BMR. And there are a lot more factors. The second one is to eat food in a little deficit from TDEE. There are a lot of TDEE calculators, TDEE and BMR calculators. They will need the body fat percentage. So to calculate this, you'll need your height, your weight, and then measurements of your waist size, thigh, quads, and chest, and arms, and all. Once you enter it in that calculator, let us assume that the BMR is, let's check this, 2000. Let's say that it's a 6 feet tall man and the BMR is 2000 and the TDEE is 3200. Yours could be very different. It's just a vague estimate here. So you need to eat food in a little deficit from TDE. You would target, let's say it's 3200, so you'll target 3000 calories in a day. The next thing is that you need a little protein in your diet, and I'll tell you why you need protein. Eventually, everything in your body converts into glucose, whether it is fat, whether it is glucose itself, whether it's glycogen, even protein. But there is no replacement for protein. You can't make protein out of glucose. You cannot make protein out of fat in your body. And protein is necessary not only to build muscles. Some people think that only bodybuilders need protein. No. You need protein for your basic repair of body cells and construction of body cells, for growth, and a lot more. And what protein should you eat? There are complete proteins, partially complete proteins, and incomplete proteins. Now, animal proteins, the one which you get from egg white, meat, fish, etc., are complete proteins. They usually have all the amino acids that your body needs. Partially complete proteins, like the ones you get in cereals or pulses, are deficient of one or two essential amino acids. So you can use a mixture of them, and they are usually found in vegetarian food. For example, if you are eating roti plus dal plus green vegetables, I wouldn't say completely, but almost completely, you would get all the necessary amino acids. Maybe not in the same quantity, but you would at least get a combination of the amino acids. So yes, vegetarian people can also sustain a good protein diet. Now we need protein. This is done. The next option is weight training. Weight training, why do we need weight training to lose weight? I mean, I don't want to become a bodybuilder. I just want to lose a few kgs of my weight. So why can I just not run on the streets? See, here's the thing. When you try running or cardio or weight loss or anything, you don't only lose fat, you also lose muscle mass, no matter how small the deficit is or no matter how high the deficit is. When you lose muscle mass, that doesn't actually do the trick. First of all, it's not permanent. Second thing is that you don't really want to lose muscle mass. You want to lose fat in your body. That is what causes all the problems. Especially fat around the waistline. That is the real cause behind diabetes and heart related diseases and everything. So to retain muscle mass while losing fat, you would need a little bit of resistance training, either with resistance bands or with dumbbells or even in a gym. Personally, I prefer the combination of bench and dumbbells at home because I don't like gyms. However, there are people who prefer gyms and there are others who prefer resistance bands. Training done at home would be sufficient. Lastly, you would have to increase NEAT. So why would you have to increase NEAT? NEAT is basically that non-exercise activity thermogenesis. The number of calories you burn when you are washing dishes or taking your dog out for a walk, or let's say cooking food or doing your everyday activities. So the reason you need to increase NEAT is because, as you must have seen in the previous slide, this is a major chunk of the calorie expenditure throughout the day. Now, this could be half or one third of what is shown here for a person who has a very, very sedentary lifestyle. So don't be that guy who has a very sedentary lifestyle. Instead of sitting on your desk all the time, try a few changes in your lifestyle. I started with the following changes. I started parking my cab or car a little away from my home, not right next to the gate, so that I have to walk a little. Just a small change. I preferred using the stairs instead of the lift. Now, this might not be possible for everyone, especially if you're staying on the eighth floor, but still try doing it as much as possible. Not a huge thing, right? Then the next one was that as I progressed, I started walking to work and back. My office wasn't as far away. And then you can obviously fire your maid and try doing your housework yourself. This is for those who have a very busy lifestyle, like they're working in an IT industry or something. Try to rely as less as possible on domestic help, because this increasing of need will be the key to losing weight. Otherwise, you would have to eat really less, and that wouldn't be as feasible. Next thing is, what should we do after we are following this plan? Okay, you calculated your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, and let's say it was 2400 calories and you are eating at a deficit. So you are eating, let's say, 2200 calories a day, and that those number of calories have a little bit of protein. We have a concept called as macros, but right now let's not get into all that complicated stuff because we have a lot of amateur users here. So you are eating a little bit of protein, let's say chicken or mutton or anything. Then you have to check your weight every week. And how do you check your weight? You check your weight as soon as you wake up after using the washroom. Once your stomach is empty, once your abdomen is empty, the lowest possible weight of the day, check that weight. If the drop is more than 800 to 900 grams, it means that the drop is too high, you're losing too much of weight. Increase 100 calories. The deficit was 200 calories, increase 100 calories. Let's say that the deficit was 100 calories. And I say increase 100 calories means you're eating your maintenance calories. So this is not wrong, and I'll explain this later. The next is that if the drop is too low, let's say that you simply lost 300 grams or 400 grams, then decrease 100 calories in your diet. For example, your TDE was 2400 calories. Now you were at a diet of 2200 calories, but your weight is you aren't losing much weight. Then drop another 100 calories, means 2100 calories now. But BMR and TDEE are not perfect. It's hit and trial. So if the calculator says that it's 2400 calories, it's not necessary. It could be that your maintenance calories are 2700 or 2800, or let's say it's 1800 or 1900. It could be anything. That is a vague approximation, and we need that approximation because we have to start somewhere. That does not mean that the approximation is perfect, but we need a direction, right? So it all works through hit and trial. Start with the calculation that the calculators give you, and then start increasing or decreasing 100 calories in your diet while eating a little bit of protein.